Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast on game 1 in a series between Dimaga and Empire's BratOK here on Cloud Kingdom. This is, of course, or at least I believe it is, let's see. Yes, it is Heart of the Swarm. I'm always kind of curious, I was like, wait a second, did I accidentally download a wrong replay? I think actually in a show match, the players had chosen the wrong map and there was no option for Wings of Liberty units, and we had to restart the whole entire game. But anyways, let's take a look at what's going down here in the game. Empire's BratOK spawning as the yellow Terran player on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Dimaga spawning as the red Zerg. So yellow Terran versus red Zerg here on Cloud Kingdom. And I am looking forward to seeing what types of strategies these players will be going for. Now, Terran openings, have generally been opening up with a little bit more of a Reaper harassment and a Reaper scout. I say more of a Reaper scout just because it's a faster barracks and then it's a faster gas, but it looks like BratOK is not going to be going for that, instead going for the economic game. You can see him going for a 12 racks instead of an 11 racks, and not wanting to sacrifice any SCVs there. Meanwhile, we'll see what Dimaga is going to be going for, as Dimaga now going for what appears to be hatchery first. So hatchery first coming in, and a little bit I'm trying to take a look at the timing. This refinery was actually a 12 refinery, not a 13 refinery, so I'm a little bit confused as to how BratOK actually has this much minerals at this point. But let's go ahead and just take a look. We are going to see this barracks now be completed in just a second. SCV will pop out. We will see an upgrade to an orbital command. There may be a little bit of time delay. No, it looks like he will be able to get a Reaper up fairly quickly. So for those of you guys who are experimenting with new builds, he went for a 12 racks and then went for a refinery quickly thereafter and was still able to get that early scouting Reaper. So perhaps this is a more economic build. Don't sacrifice nearly as much in terms of scouting, or in terms of minerals early on, and then you are able to get that Reaper out and still do a bit of scouting before roaches and queens are able to make their way onto the field and really shut it down. So far, Dimaga is sitting on 16 drones here at his main base. Most likely will be transferring some drones over to his natural as well, as 16 seems to be the magic number for most Zerg players. We are seeing only 2 drones on gas, so this is actually the most efficient in terms of mining that the Zerg player can go for. One more drone would make it absolutely the most efficient. Perhaps getting another drone off over here might work out well, as we see the Reaper now make its way in and getting some easy shots onto some Zerglings. Now that Reaper does have those combat drugs, so he will in fact regenerate hit points while outside of combat, and there it goes. That Reaper being a very, very effective harassing unit, as he is now taking a look around, but he has to be very careful. He cannot engage against these Zerglings on the creep, otherwise he will get pushed back out. And there you have it. The Reaper now pretty much spots everything he needs to spot, and economically speaking, BratOK is all right. He's sitting at 19 compared to, or 20 compared to 22 drones. The metabolic boost is about to complete, metabolic boost is just started. And the Zerglings will not be able to catch up to that Reaper for quite some time. He's just dancing around, keeping track of everything, and now going into a double expand. BratOK most likely will not be lifting off this command center, instead just trying to train up more SCVs. And this Reaper is doing a continuous job of scouting while placing down a bit of pressure and forcing a lot of Zerglings to be trained. This is all very important for BratOK, as BratOK wants to make sure that he can actually engage against that queen. He could try to engage against that queen, and now that Reaper is going to be making its way down and making its way around the map once more, as we already have the orbital command upgrading at the natural. So far, Dimaga is not setting up a third base just quite yet. He has to have plans to do so shortly. Take a look inside the main base. He does have 3 drones on gas now. He is not going into tier 2, but he is getting level 1 armor upgrades already. This is not something that I normally see with a Zerg player. Zerg players normally go attack upgrades first, but this time around actually going for armor upgrades first is actually pretty strong. As the Reaper not getting back up onto the high ground, he has to be very careful. He realizes that all of those Zerglings do have a very, very fast movement speed now. The Zerglings are going to try to cut him off. Not going to work though, but that front door is completely wide open, as the Zerglings may try to engage, but all they're going to find is a whole bunch of Hellions, and down all of them go. So yes, all of those Zerglings getting taken down in pretty much a single fashion there, and BratOK really just baited all of those Zerglings to engage. Now behind this, he is going for double engineering bays, BratOK is, so he's getting level 1 armor and weapons upgrade, and this may come as a bit of a surprise to Dimaga. Dimaga sees a lot of Hellions on the field. Oh, the Reaper able to get up onto the high ground. Where is he going to be going next? Is he going to be able to scout anything? Oh, it looks like he will be able to scout the backside, but doesn't really see anything here. Zerglings will be able to get in and take it down. Meanwhile, the Hellions still wandering around the map, able to take out a creep tumor there, as it was just trying to pop up, and BratOK with a very strong control. Very strong control of the mid, should be in a very good position. Harvester count is now 45 to 34. Hellion still wandering around here, and BratOK, for all the good that he's done, is still a little bit behind economically speaking. He doesn't have that many units on the field. Let's take a look at his army. He does have those Hellions, but they are not as fast as those Zerglings, and those Zerglings have been able to just wander around. You can see a Baneling's Nest is being added as well, so we are going to perhaps see a bit of a bust here in just a moment, as the Hellions hiding themselves in a corner to finish off all of these Zerglings. Is it going to be enough? It looks like it may be enough to finish off. Oh, 2 of them barely survived there, as a major attack now attacking on the front door. SCV is now trying to get back up onto the high ground. This is not going to be good. Dimaga pretty much going, you know what, I can do a lot of damage here. What's going to happen? And more importantly, the scouting. The scouting is very key, as you see double engineering bays and an armory already coming in, and Dimaga goes, you know what, this is very nice that I already have my Baneling's Nest up and running. Perhaps I will go for Baneling movement speed, as we are already going into level 2 armor upgrades, level 1 melee upgrades, as the Zerglings now just tearing apart the supply depots here. BratOK, for all the good he did, is not doing enough, and now the Zerg engine is on a roll. This will be very difficult to stop. Dimaga sitting on a 50 drone to 32 SCV advantage. And off of this additional base, he is getting a fair amount of gas, which means perhaps he will be transitioning into Mutalisk. BratOK needs to train up more SCVs. This front door was never really established, not even a bunker here, as the Zerglings are going to swarm in. And what is happening? No medevacs, no combat shield. The Marines are now stimming and able to survive ever so barely, as we should be getting an additional supply depots once more to complete this wall off here. BratOK now with a very heavy production, 5 racks, and it looks like the production may actually start to pull ahead, as we are going into 2-2 upgrades. And now the Marine's going to finish off all of those Zerglings there. Did those Zerglings, or does the Zerg know? He does not know about this additional orbital command, as Dimaga feels that it is safe for him to establish up a 4th base. Now, this is not the typical 4th base double expand that we normally see. Dimaga is not taking this base either. So it looks like Dimaga is almost baiting BratOK to attack this position. It is in the very forward position there. That medevac now on the move. I do not like this play, though. BratOK is going to be unloading Marines from a medevac that hardly has any energy, 10 energy, and that is not going to be that much at all. It's going to be able to heal, what, 45 energy at the most, and so far, one stim is already going to do 80 points of damage to all of those Marines there. Marines now on the move. Medevacs now pushing forward again. It's going to be a little bit of a split attack as the Marines do, or one Marine gets taken down as the Medevacs are in position. All right. What is going to be happening? That Medevac is getting ready to perhaps ignite those afterburners and come in once more. A little bit of a 2-prong attack. This refinery will get taken down, but here we have Marines already dropping, but the Mutalisks are going to completely clean up this alongside some Zerglings, and perhaps BratOK will be able to instead take out a hatchery instead. Banelings, however, arriving to the party, and oh, Banelings, oh so dangerous, trying to do a little bit of Baneling split, able to do that, but now are the medevacs, oh, beautiful flying. The Marines jump inside the medevacs for just a moment. The Mutalisks, however, are bringing up the rear. Are they going to be able to finish it off? And BratOK needs to get a lot of Marines in position. Marines are now unloading and going after all of those units there. Beautifully done. BratOK able to hold, but BratOK still sitting on 2 bases compared to Dimaga's 4, and Dimaga will surely saturate this base here in just a second. Alright, it looks like we could be getting into critical mass. There is one missile turret. Oh, the missile turret does get off 1 shot, and 1 shot only, as we are seeing the SCVs. No, what is this orbital command doing? It is now acting as a bit of a scout. That doesn't make any sense, as the Mutalisks are now looking to back away. More Marines are engaging. The Mutalisks are simply too much in number. The Marines normally counter, but when you have superior numbers like this, it does not matter all that much. Siege tanks now getting focused down 1 at a time, and the Mutalisks with their fast movement speed being able to be pretty much everywhere they want to be. And now Dimaga doesn't even have to worry about trading efficiently if he wants to. He can just pull back a little bit, regroup, flush back in, and do it time and time again. BratOK now trying to strip mine with those mules. Is it going to be enough? Zerglings now getting a pushback here, as we are at 2-2 upgrades. 3-3 now coming in for Dimaga. Meanwhile, 30 Zerglings and an Ultralisk Cavern coming in from Dimaga. So BratOK not looking that strong here. There is a good number of Marines, but the Marines are all going to fall apart when trying to fight and take on those Ultralisks, especially with Baneling support. And now that we have Banelings in the mix as well, that is going to be absolutely deadly. Here we go. Zerglings now looking to swarm in. The Mutalisks are overhead, as the Zerglings are going to be able to get into position. Here you go. Mutalisks are now getting taken down. Zerglings still swarming in again, as the Zerglings are now trying to find their target. Banelings going to be able to find their target, and Dimaga actually not engaging that efficiently. Oh, are the Banelings going to perhaps find some SCVs and some mules? Yes, take them down as well. And there is the GG. Dimaga taking game 1 very, very easily in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for game 2.